So today we're making mantu, and we're going to need 5 cups of ground beef, 7 cups of sliced onions, a tablespoon or so of salt to taste. These are dumpling wrappers. I prefer these. You can use any kind you want. That's 2 tablespoons of black pepper. And then there's oil to coat your steamer and the dumplings with. Now here's my steamer. You can see I have 3 trays and it plugs in on the counter. Garnish ingredients are 2 cups of yogurt with 8 cloves of garlic shredded and then whisked in with a pinch of salt. Fresh cilantro, obviously washed. We have salt, 2 tablespoons of paprika, 2 tablespoons of chili, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 3 green chilies that will be chopped later, and this is about 2 cups of dal that I pressure cooked. 3 tomatoes chopped, and we're ready to go. So add in your tomatoes. Fry well. This should only take a few minutes. I like to use Roma. Now I'm mashing the tomatoes once they're soft, just so that they are nice and liquidy into a sauce. Okay, so mash, mash, mash. Here we go. Now I'm adding in my salt. Then I'm going to add my paprika and my chili. Stir that up. Look at the colors. The paprika helps give it a nice deep red. There's my chilies. And I forgot to show myself adding in the pepper. So here's my dal. You can see that the oil came to the top. That pretty much means the tomatoes were done cooking. And the rest of this can cook, to your desire. I mean, the dal is already soft. You can see the oil on the top, looking beautiful. The flavors are just unreal, and it's very aromatic. Now for the mantu. This is the filling for the dumplings. I'm adding in my ground beef. And you want to fry your ground beef, but you definitely don't want it to turn dark brown anywhere, like no burnt pieces. So we're going to go ahead and fry this slowly. So it's pretty much fully cooked. We have a little bit of the oil left over. We want to dry out the liquid. And then we're going to add our onions. There's my beautiful onions going in. We're going to let this simmer. I have it on medium. Mix it up and basically put a lid on. And you can add a bit of oil if your meat's too dry or too lean. You want these to be translucent, so let's let them cook. So we're going to check on it, and it is half cooked. You can see some are see-through, some are still very white. We're going to go ahead and give it some more time, maybe another 10-15 minutes. Go ahead and put your lid back on and let it cook. So this is exactly what we want. It is fully cooked now. Just dry up as much of that water as you can. Add your spices in, only half the pepper and half the salt, because you definitely want to wait till it cools down to see the full taste. Here's my pepper going in, most of it. I really like it peppery. Some families don't, but I definitely think this tastes better. There's some salt. Don't forget, you can add it in after it's cooled down and before you start wrapping. Here I am wrapping the dumplings. We go ahead and wet that for paste. We're going to put the filling in the middle. Go ahead and pinch those sides. We're going to wet the edge, and then we're going to wrap it like a rose, if that makes sense. I'm going to repeat this a few times because it is simple, but it does take a few to develop the skills. So here I go. Just watch and enjoy. I've gone ahead and added them to my pre-oiled steamer, and I've coated the dumplings with oil just so they cook thoroughly. Sometimes it takes 30 245 to 60 minutes, depending on your steamer. And we're going to go ahead and let those steam. Now I'm going to plate it. I'm putting my yogurt mix on the bottom of a plate. And there's my dumplings, all cooked and delicious looking, of course. I'm going to add those on top of the yogurt. This is going to be fantastic. It's looking gorgeous. Now we're going to add another layer of yogurt over top of the mantu. It's going to taste amazing. My husband likes to pile on the toppings. You can garnish this any way you like. I'm going to show you two separate ways, but this would be typical. That is dry mint that I'm putting over top. It's pretty much included into all Afghan dishes. I should have mentioned it in the beginning. I put fresh black pepper as well, and now I'm adding my hot dal mixture over top of the spices. Now for the cilantro that I've gone ahead and chopped, I'm just going to coat it on there because that's how hubby likes it. So all of these toppings are obviously optional. This is the typical way to serve. You can do it on a platter or individual dishes. It tastes incredible, by the way. Now this is a fancy way to entertain your guests. I've gone ahead and I'm going to put one mantu on each. This would be an appetizer for a party or a fancy get-together where you're not going to eat too much. We're going to go ahead and add one to all of the spoons. Now we're going to garnish it slightly different. I'm putting a little bit of yogurt over each one because who doesn't love that garlicky yogurt? Here we go, almost finished. Now I'm going to add my dal mixture that was left over. Doesn't have to look perfect. A little bit of mess, a matter of fact, can be covered up by some chopped cilantro all through the dish to make it look even more fancy. So, there we go. So I had some of the meat left over and I just fried it with some more black pepper and some, what do you call it, turmeric. It just tastes amazing with a lot of turmeric. I went ahead to use that for a garnish. That's optional. You can do that when you plate it. I just like to not waste anything. So yeah, I'm adding it to this. Again with the dried mint and some dry black pepper. All these spices just create a fusion of goodness. There is some cilantro to end it off. Look how great that looks. And you can see there's a mess on the plate. So I'll show you what I will do to disguise that, especially if you're in a rush for your party. Now I'm just randomly spreading cilantro everywhere to cover up all my teeny tiny mistakes and make it look like it's supposed to be that way. And it looks awesome. So here's my appetizers. They look incredible. They taste incredible. You have to try them. That's all there is to it. Beautiful photo. And I'm also going to show you my last photo of my mantu plate because, I mean, why not, right? I hope you enjoyed my video and please subscribe.